I did it.
Yeah, okay, good. Hello, everybody. Welcome for day one, Living Well, Aging Well Through Movement, December 17, 2020. Okay, so make sure you're comfortable. The height of the table with the monitor, the neck is nice and straight, shoulders down, relax. And we always gonna have exercise sessions. So the half of the class will be kind of talking, maybe well, as we're going into the program, you guys probably will have questions from the previous week, and we can do some Q&A sessions and also the lectures in the beginning part, and then we're gonna do exercise according to. So it's more like what we learn, we are going to apply. So now we talked about 7 modality of human development of Living Well, Aging Well program. And basically every day, everything we do is including all 7 modalities. Okay, now this is the Yellow Emperor's Classic of Medicine, which is, this is the known, the oldest Chinese medicine book. And basically the Yellow Emperor didn't exist. This is a story using, the character is the Yellow Emperor. And the first part is the dialogue and Q&A, kind of like Q&A of a section of Yellow Emperor asking his Chibo is his minister, very knowledgeable minister, asking about life, philosophy, and health. And just to give you an idea, this is the timeline. So this is about 4,000 years in the length. And you can see, this is, oh, you can't see it. So 180, that's 2,000 years ago. And the We're Here section is where we are. So year 2020. So this book, the Yellow Emperor book, was written somewhere between 475 to 221 BC. So it's way more than 2,000 years ago. So what I wanted to share in this book, in the very first page on the chapter 1. So if you guys want to, I mean, I don't know, it's a big book, and it get into some like organ system and seasons. So if you really get into it, maybe after 15 weeks, this is really interesting book. And I still haven't read all things. I'm reading section by section, but this is just amazing. On the first page of the first chapter, it starts with it's a dialogue of Chibo and Yellow Emperor. So Yellow Emperor is very interested in stuff. Basically asking many questions to Chibo, and Chibo knows everything. So he is answering his questions. So the very first question that Yellow Emperor asked, he basically says, so people used to live for a long time, like, 100 years. And how come people nowadays don't live that long? Our lifestyle changed. And Chibo said, I'm going to read from here. So the Chibo replied, in the past, so in the past of the 2,000 years, in the past, people practiced the Tao. It's like in a Taoism, basically their way of life understood the principle of balance, yin and yang, and And they also understood the represented by the transformation of the energy of the universe. So they formulated the practice such as an exercise, combining stretching, massage, and breathing to promote energy flow. Like, we knew it 2000 years ago, and we're still trying to learn about it, right? So we were harmonized themselves. People in the old days harmonized themselves with the universe, and they ate balanced diet. So basically, it's like, it hurts my ear to read. They ate balanced diet. They went to bed at the decent time. They woke up at the decent time. They had the regular balanced lifestyle, and they were balanced bodies. You know, their bodies and minds are balanced. They refrained from overindulgence of all kinds, right? So they maintained well-being of the body and mind. Thus, it is not surprising that they lived over 100 years. Okay, then he continues. These days meaning 475 to 221 BC, these days, people have changed their way of life. They drink wine as though it were water, indulge excessively in destructive activities, drain their jing meaning the body's essence that is stored in the kidneys. We're going to talk about the organ systems, but basically it's the vital energy. So, and depleted their chi. They do not know the secret of conserving their energy and vitality. They also, the people nowadays, seeking emotional excitement and momentary pleasure. People disregard nature 2000 years ago, already disregarding the nature and the natural rhythm and order of the universe. They fail to regulate their lifestyle and diet and sleep improperly. So it is not surprising that they look old at 50 and die soon after. So this was written 2000 years ago, and we're still doing the same thing. So we gotta, learn from things. So I felt so stupid when I read this. I was like, duh. So we've been doing the same thing for like 2000 years. So anyway, so that's what I wanted to talk about and share from the Yellow Emperor's book. Any questions so far? Am I not, is this still exciting? Just want to make sure I don't want to bore you with this traditional Chinese medicine. Okay, so what do we talk about? So let's move. So let me unshare. Did I unshare? No, I'm still sharing. Okay. I want to stop share. Sorry. There, stop share. Okay, now I see everybody. Yay. So today we are not going to move around too much because we haven't done the setup for the rooms, but for next week, this is what I have. So not too much, but you want to be able to move around just side to side with your arms. Arms up. That's all you need. I'm not gonna ask for any more. Okay. So kind of push your stuff around so you have open space with your arms lengths around. Okay. But today we are we're gonna do stuff seated because that's what we do a lot. And we are going to talk more about the structures in anatomy and physiology. Zip. But wait. So here is anatomy lecture. Okay, so I think since March we are moving less. No matter who you are, I think most of us are moving less, and we're sitting a lot more. So, and the computer, phone, texting, everything we do, sitting down, daily living, everything is forward, right? And I have all these visuals, which I'm going to, it's my skeleton. So when you do sitting, so you look down. So the muscles are what's keeping us moving and also, well, keeping us moving. So muscles only can stretch, no, contract or relax. That's only two things the muscles can do. So when you look down, this, sorry, this part shrinks, right? So this contracts, this stretches. This contract, this stretches, this contracts, this stretches when you're seated. So basically you get stuck in this. So what you're gonna get is all these are stretched out and you think it's really tight and you have to stretch the back. That is not most likely what you need to do is you have, most of us probably will have a really tight neck and tight shoulders and thinking, oh, I need to get a massage on my shoulders. But most likely what you need to do is stretch the front first. And otherwise it won't, so your backside won't stretch. So if you think about, your head is very heavy. And your neck muscle is trying so hard from your head from falling, right? Basically, you know, you don't want this to fall out. So your back muscle is pulling so hard. So it's like you have to keep your neck from falling. So it just, so it have to be tight, right? So if you have to tell your tight muscle, come on, you're tight, you got to relax. You can't relax because then what's going to happen? Your head's going to fall down on the floor. You don't want to do that. So what we need to do, we're made with front and back side of the body. So to relax this, which is already stretched out and stressed, we need to relax the front and relax and soften this front part, which is here and here. Right. So and also here is, if you could quite visualize it, but this is the shoulder joint. This is the back. Is your scapula. This is your collarbone right here, your clavicle. So this is, it's like this, right? So, and see how complicated your shoulder is. And did you know that your shoulder blade and your clavicle is actually connected? So which is right here. This is where it's, you feel the bump here. So that's the end of your clavicle. And you feel that's the spine of the scapula. So scapula has a little bumpy spine that goes out this way, sorry, goes out to connect with the scapula. So if this gets tight and if everything's shifted forward, guess what happened to this complex thing? It just, everything gets connected, everything gets like pulled, and everything gets so imbalanced. So that's what we're gonna do. So first, very easy, painless thing to work on. So feel your clavicle. Is it there? You have the clavicle. So right underneath your clavicle is the top of your chest muscle, right? So that's your clavicle. There's the chest muscle. Chest muscle is kind of like this triangular shape. And it's gets attached to the top of your arm, okay? So when you feel like you need a massage on the shoulder, your neck, think the front part first. So first, you are going to, so right on top of the clavicle, so you're touching the muscle, touching the bone. And what you're gonna do is not rubbing the skin, but moving the skin. You see the difference? So you push in and move the skin over the bone. Okay. So when you do that, do you feel the part that is lower that's also moving? Because that's the attachment of the muscle, of the chest muscles. And when you do that, make sure you're not doing this, right? Chest up, neck long. And also this is the part where all the lymphatic fluid dumps back into the heart. So this is the kind of like the terminal for the lymphatic fluid. So this is a good place to open. So, and clavicle goes from here all the way to where we were just talking about that bump. So try to get all around along the clavicle, push in, and you're moving the skin. Okay, try that on the other side. So to flatten your hand over the clavicle, push in, and it's not rubbing it, right? It's pushing in and moving the skin. You want to feel the skin move. Okay. And also this is a good time to focus on your breathing. Okay. So we worked kind of on top of the clavicles. Now, if you go under, so that's your clavicle, that's your arm, right? So in this area, is where the end of the chest muscle. It's right here, okay? And make sure it's still the meaty portion of your body, of the muscle. Use this part, push in, and give a little massage. Push in. So again, same thing. Instead of doing this, you want to push in and you want to feel that you're massaging the muscle. So again, make sure you're comfortable. So that's very important. Make sure that you're comfortable. Nothing should hurt. Okay. Same thing on the other side. Push in. So find the meaty part. So far, so good. Okay. Now, here is your breastbone, right? So on the very top of the breastbone, right here, okay, this part. Don't choke yourself. So you are putting the heels of your palm, push in and think down. So you want to use the weight of your arms to go down, right? So we're going to do this with breathing. Breathe in. As you breathe out, push down. Okay. Breathe out completely. Relax your arms. Breathe in. Going to do this 2 more times. Right on top. Breathe in, breathe out. One more time. Breathe in and breathe out. Going to do this same thing 2 more times, but as you breathe out, you are going to lift your chin up so you feel a good stretch here. So make sure you don't stretch too much. Breathe in. Hands going to go down, chin up, breathe out. Now look forward, relax your arms, breathe in. Push down. Come back to center. One more time. Breathe in. Push in. Pull down your arms. Look up. Breathe out. Okay. Now let's just do little shoulder rolls. How are you feeling? Do you feel a little opened chest? Working good? 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 Yes? Good. All right. So we're going to open a little more by. So again, the muscles only can stretch and contract. And also the opposing muscle, the opposite side of the body does the opposite thing. That makes sense. So when the front part stretches, back part contracts. When the front part contracts, back part stretches, right? So when this contracts, you can see this is all opened up. So we want to do the opposite of this, right? So you are going to stretch this as with the aiding of the contraction of the muscles. So you are going to. So just think of, don't think about opening this up rather than thinking about squeezing your shoulder blades together. So you want to pull this back. So you want to feel you're crunching your shoulder blades together toward each other, right? So your shoulder blades going to go in toward each other. So let's just think, move your shoulder blades toward each other. So breathe in here and breathe out and relax. Okay. Breathe in as you squeeze your shoulder blades together. And relax. 2 more. Pull, squeeze. And breathe out. 1 more. Breathe in, squeeze. And breathe out. Okay. Working? Good, good. I like to see those thumbs. Okay, so this is not hard, right? You could just do this every day, couple times a day. So now we're going to work on the shoulder joints. The shoulder joints. This is so easy. I've done it in a class before, so you probably have seen it. But when you're sitting and doing the work on the computer, you don't have to move out. You move to anywhere or stand up. Make sure that you are clear in the front and the side, but hold on to your elbows. So you're making the square. All you need is a square. And also, if you have shoulder problem, make sure you work within the comfortable level. Okay. So all you're going to do is you're going to go up. And if you can look under the square, under your arms, that's great. If not, that's okay too. Okay. And down. You're just going to go up and down a couple times. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now come back to the center. So you're going to squish this square. So from here to there. Okay. So go one side, you're stretching your shoulder. Keep looking forward. But your elbows are on the side. And the other way. Side. Keep breathing. Side. Make sure your breathing is continuous. Okay. Now, so far so good. You're going to do the circles. So, down, open, go under, and down. Okay, 5 times. 2. 3. 4. 5. Other way. 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Okay. Now that we have mobilized a little more, all you're going to do is, so imagine the rowing machine that you have in the gym. Well, it's not the rowing, but the seated row machine. So you're going to pull back, but this is not just your arms. It's not here, right? It's the shoulder blades that's making this happen. Okay. So we're going to do this here to there. Don't go all the way out, just here to there. So focus on the movement of your shoulder blades. So by squeezing the shoulder blades, you're opening this up, okay? Ready? From like midway, pull back. 1, 2, 3, chest up. Keep breathing. 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more. 9, 10, and relax. Okay, now we want to stretch the side. So if you have shoulder issues, this may not be a possible. So all you're going to do is you could do this. You can go this way. Anything that you are stretching the side, don't fall off the chair. So all you're going to do is slide. Think you're stuck in this, so you don't want to go front, you don't want to go back, straight to the side. So if you could, if you're comfortable adding, go ahead and add, but make sure your feet are wide. So make sure this is wide, so you have something to catch. So if you're not, you're gonna fall. Okay. So the safety is most important. So safety including you feel comfortable. You have to feel secure and comfortable. Okay. So make sure you're secure and grounded. So first, let's just let your arm fall, but focus on stretching the side of your body. Okay. Slowly, 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 slowly. Stretch. And down. If you want to add this, make sure your feet are wider because this is going to take you further out. You can go here, or you can relax your arm. Okay. Let's go the other way. Let's just let your arm to dangle first. And you feel the stretch on the side. Back. You could do up or relax or whatever you're comfortable with. Okay. Now, let's do another seated one. So when you're seated or standing, your feet gets cold. And when your feet get cold, it's a lot of weird thing happens. So you want to keep your feet warm and you want to keep your ankle mobile. And we're going to talk about all the channels and stuff later, but a lot of, half of the meridians runs through your ankles, and the other half of meridian runs to your ankles. So, I mean, your wrist. So a lot of things can be solved by moving your wrist and your ankles. And also it moves improves the circulation and solves a lot of problems. So, and since we can do this, you know this, I mean, we've done this in Always Active. Move your ankles when you are, so you could do this on the phone, you're working on the computer, just do this. By doing this, you're working on your thigh muscle too. But now we're going to talk about the ankles. So first you're going to point and flex. Just don't push too much. Let's get them moving. So 15. Now you're going to do the circles. So If you're not used to this, it might get a little jerky, but keep doing it. You'll be surprised. It gets really smooth very quick. So you don't have to make it so high. You can go low. As long as it's off the floor, it circles. So make sure in any angle, any repetitions, make sure you're within, go the other way, within the comfortable range. But, anywhere between 8 and 15. Or whatever you're comfortable with. Okay. Switch to the other side. Point and flex. Start with point and flex. And don't make it work too hard. It just nice and easy movement will do. Now circles. Other way. Okay. Now you didn't even get up, but I'm sure you start to feel a little circulation. Maybe you got warm, maybe a little sweaty. How you feeling? Is it okay? Good? Yay. So we are not going to even stand up today. So I want to show you all these stuff that you could do this seated. I'm going to talk about, I was going to talk about the ears today, but I think it's a good time to talk about the ear. So, there's the ear points and stuff in acupuncture. And this is not it's not exactly a traditional acupuncture, but we learn about this thing, and it's really easy because it's the whole body is in your ear. So just think the ear, tissues in the ear corresponds, how we started out with an egg, one like blob, and it gets cut in half, how the cells divide, and as like one thing becomes two becomes four, and it gets all complicated, and once they become big enough, they start to form a tube, where our digestive system, our organ system, our nervous system, it's all kind of get differentiated. So all these are in our ear. We're keeping it in our ear. Everything's in. Other parts of our bodies are coming from the certain single kinds of the cell differentiation, but the ear was it is said, I think it's somebody, the French scholar, did the whole research that they found out there's the different parts of the developmental cell are still in our ear system. Anyway, so if you think of upside down fetus, who we used to be, so this part, the earlobe part, is the head area. And this is the spinal cord. So this is like the neck area, mid back, lower back, and this triangular. I don't know if you can see this little triangular. Where's my pointer? My ear thingy. Right here. This is the pelvic cavity. Knee and hip area is right here. And hands and fingers are out here. And Inside is all the our organs. So since the bottom is the top, so this is the head area. This section, the lower section, is the upper body. So heart, lungs, middle, right here, right there is like the stomach area, digestive stuff. And up here is the lower digestion and the, you know, the bladders and intestines. So when you feel like your neck is tight, just kind of start rubbing your ears and see if that makes any difference. So that's something that's easy. It's not gonna hurt. It's doesn't, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It doesn't make anything worse, but it just something you can do. You're seated. You don't have to get up. You don't have to do anything. It just, so this is the head. So the earlobe is like the facial. Your eye is where we normally wear our earrings, but and where this narrows and goes up right there, that's like the back of the neck to the neck area. So that's where we most probably hurt. So something to just kind of think about. You could also look at your ears and see if there's any discoloration or any kind of, do you see more small blood vessels? Does that correspond with your injuries or, you know, pain? But earlobes are a good thing to pinch. So make sure you're not hurting yourself, but pinch, pinch. Okay, so that's the ear. We're going to talk more about the ears later, but I just wanted to mention it since we're seated.
Yeah. Where are the ears in the ear? Where are the ears? Ears in your ear.
In the ear, because this is all the facial area, is the earlobe. And there's the separate parts, like outer ear is on this section, but it's all the sense organs are also in the brain and brainstem. So it's all kind of in the head and face area.
Thank you.
And another home improvement stuff. Do you guys all have, when you're in your shower, do you have the one detachable head with the long hose? No. It's the one that just, it stays there and do this. I recommend to get the, if it's not too difficult, to get the hose that you could like detach it, so you can take it, like if you need to warm your feet without doing the whole thing of the taking a shower. Taking a shower is too much, but if you have a cold feet, just take the shower and just warm your feet, and that helps a lot to keeping your feet warm. Does a lot of it, works with your it's connected to your lower back, connected to your knees, connected to your lower abdominal area. And as we get more into cooler weather, we gonna have more issues with being cold and catching a cold. So another thing about catching a cold, with the go ahead. Anybody have a question?
I just wanted to say that you might be able to ask your landlord to put that in for you, and it would be considered adaptive for seniors. And so, yeah, because I had the city once came in and made sure everybody had that in one of my places. Sorry about the dog. But you
good.
could ask your landlord for help with that. And they're not that expensive. So,
Is there a pepper barking?
that's Jack.
Hi, Jack.
Yeah, I know he wants to be here, but I'm going to go. I just wanted to tell everybody to
Thank you.
maybe
That's a
talk
great.
to Jill about it. She might have some good wording for you.
Yes. So
So I would like to suggest putting your feet in a bucket of warm water because it's pretty wasteful just to run the water.
yeah, if you have the bucket, I have the foot bath bucket, and that I love it. I use the Epsom salt.
Yeah,
Just make sure that you put something warm and comfortable by the on the edge of the tub, but or you can just drag that into your living room. But yes, that's a great idea. Foot bath is the great idea. Great thing to do. There's another thing that I was going to talk about. Oh yes, this gets a little bit into Chinese medicine, but how in the cold season, the wind and cold enters, believe it or not, in Chinese medicine, enters from the back of your neck and shoulder. So that's the reason, or it helps that if we keep our necks warm, we're warm. I mean, it's because what the many reasons, gives the major vessels and stuff too. But in Chinese medicine, I want to show you the points. So when you feel like you're coming down with something, or you went out and it was really cold and you didn't have your scarf on or your beanie on, in the shower, make sure that you keep your back of your neck warm. And when we catch cold in Chinese medicine point of view, is the wind evil with the cold enters your body. So wind carries everything because wind opens the door, right? Wind opens the door and get into your house. So that's what happens to your body too. The wind opens your pore. When your pores open, they enter with the cold or with the heat. So when you have, there's the heat cold and the cold too. So there is the UP channel. The UP10. Sorry. I should have had that. Hang on. Okay. So that is, you see, the wind gate is right there. Can you see? There. So it's, can you see this? So it's like the upper part of your body between it's on the upper part of, in between your shoulder blades, on the upper part of the shoulder blades. So it's kind of like upper back. So that's the wind gate. And there's the wind pool. I will have the picture next week, but wind pool is up here where your head, where's my person? So all these wind places right below your skull. So 2 spots. So that's the wind pool. There's the wind gate and there's the wind mansion. So it's all around. So anywhere between here and there. So if you feel like that's one way to prevent cold, according to Chinese medicine. But it also, it just helps you anyway to keep your back of your neck warm. So think about that when you're coming back from, when you're walking outside, and when you were out in the cold, when you're taking a shower. Think about all these wind places. Yeah, and always cover it up. If you are going out in the cold weather, get your neck covered up and keep your head warm. Okay. I'm open for question. Any questions or any kind of like easy stretch or anything that you want to work on? Yes. Go ahead.
Those exercises we did for the back, are we going to repeat those?
The back, the one we did today.
Yeah. Will we
Okay.
repeat them?
So we did
No,
first.
no, not repeat them now. Are we repeating them next time?
Yes.
That's all. Yeah.
We did the shoulder blade stuff.
Front ones I kind of need a little bit more work on to remember.
Yes. We'll keep repeating them.
Okay,
So-
thank you.
Sure. So we did loosening up your chest.
It
first.
worked. It worked.
Yes,
It worked right away.
I tell you. Yes, I agree with that person, whoever was talking, because
Anke?
goodness, my body says like is telling me, wow, I don't know what you're doing, but continue doing it because it feels great. I notice a difference.
Akiyo magic.
I do feel a difference, really.
It's your body working. Like, thank you. So make sure when you have a tight muscle, think of the opposing muscle. So don't just go into it, dig into it. So when you feel like your neck is hurting, think about the opposite side or the opposing muscles first, rather than getting into it and like the tightness. Think about twisting, think about different parts. So it's not just one thing, but it like just like the shoulder joints, like everything's working together. So one thing goes out of balance, everything else gonna fall apart. So think about different parts of the body. And I hope it's okay, but I'm gonna go into a lot of, we're gonna talk about the anatomies and the bone structures and stuff too. So I don't wanna go, it's not too technical, but it's something you really need to know and makes you understand how the body works. So any other questions? Or any body parts?
Yeah, I seem to have very tight calf muscles. Do you have any suggestions for just the calves, not the thighs?
Okay, the calves. So again, think about, so the calves, the opposing muscle is the this tibialis, the shin muscle. So,
Oh,
our exercises
okay,
we did,
right,
that's gonna work, and the foot bath will help. And to
Okay.
stretch, the calf stretch, our old right
right,
calf stretch.
right,
But again, when it's really tight, don't work too hard on it. So start with pushing down, but think about your heels are down, your feet are flat, and
correct,
also you're gonna feel the stretch in front of your thighs too.
the hip flexor, yes,
So you can go slowly
oh,
And you can-
okay,
first. Then once you're comfortable, kind of get, deeper into it. But make sure
oh,
when you do a stretch, don't force it, and make sure you're comfortable.
right. Okay, very good focus, thank you.
Very good. Any other questions? Then you could also type it into. Forgot to ask. Okay, so if you have any question, you can email me.
I could just say that it was like a revelation to me, and it'll make enormous difference to know that about the muscle only being able to tighten or relax, and then the things you showed us on our body were just examples of how that is, and I was amazed because I
That's
just didn't know to do that.
Yeah.
Yay!
That's right.
So yes, just learning about the body and what they do is just amazing. Once you know what they do, you could come up with, you don't have to stick with what I show you or what the type of stretching I'm showing you. But once you know where the muscles are connected, what the opposing muscle do, you think about anchoring one side and stretch the other way. So you're going to learn how to come up with what kind of stretching exercise that you could do. And that works with your flexibility. And also if you have any limited shoulder, limited joint issues, you can work around it. So you will learn that you're going to create your own routine. Okay. Any other questions?
I just wanted to say that with the shoulder exercises, I felt like there's like space between all my bones, that my
Oh,
bones aren't just like pressing on each other, but they're like separated in a very good way. And I feel energized and warm
so
in
when
my
you do
shoulders.
the spine, you know, the little cushions in between your spine, they as you move, they get more soft, or it's kind of like a sponge. They absorb more moisture and they expand. So that makes sense. Yay! Thank you very much. So homework is to move. So it doesn't have to be what we did, but just kind of play around with your joints and don't hurt yourself, but you know, move around and see what your body does and how you feel. And I want the report.
Thank you so much, Akiyo. That was
Thank you,
very good
Akiyo.
class.
Thank you.
Very good class.
Thank you,
Thank
Akiyo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Akiyo. See you next
We'll
week.
see
you all. We'll see you next week.
Okay.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Akio.
Thank you.
With
Thank
any
you.
questions?